All right, let's dive into An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson. This book, it's wild. We're talking about a world where persuasion is like a superpower. Taught at this super exclusive school, they call it Drayton, kind of like, Hogwarts, but with mind control. Not spells, but like straight up mind control. Crazy, right? Our main character, Lennon Carter, she's running from a really bad relationship, trying to find a new start, and she gets pulled into Drayton, this whole world of like seductive and dangerous power. So first we meet Lennon at this like fancy dinner party. She keeps getting these questions about her race and how she looks. She calls it this gentle othering. You can just feel how isolated she is. Like she's just given up on real connection. And then there's Wyatt. He's her live-in boyfriend, a professor. But there's something off about him, like the way he's so obsessed with saving his koi fish from the frozen pond, bringing them inside, thawing them out in the bathtub. It's so specific and weird, Like it gives you this feeling that he's super controlling, And that definitely foreshadows what their relationship is like.
And then things get really strange. Lennon sees this reflection of herself, but with no eyes. It's just for a second, but it sets this creepy mood, like hinting at all the weird stuff that's about to happen. And then she gets drawn to this phone booth in an abandoned mall of all places. And that's when she gets a call she's accepted to Drayton. So, okay, this school, Drayton, it's totally shrouded in secrecy. The way you even get in is like a puzzle. It's as mysterious as the guy who founded it, John Drayton. This guy, he believed that persuasion wasn't just a skill, but a real ability, a power you could actually train. Not just to influence people's minds, but like the whole world. And that's what Drayton, the school, is all about, training students to use this power. Lennon's first time seeing Drayton, it's pretty striking. It's this huge estate full of history and like hidden stuff. The entrance exam, it's nothing like she's ever seen. Imagine a room full of people who want to get in, right? They all get this booklet with like abstract images, and they have to interpret like the emotions and motivations. It's clear they're not looking for just anyone.
They want people who are like super perceptive, people who can see beyond the surface, who can understand how people really work. It's just the first taste of how weird and demanding Drayton is. Okay, now for Lennon's advisor, Dante Lowe. He is, for sure, one of the most interesting characters in this whole thing. Like, their first meeting, he tells her to make him lift this bizarre pig figurine, 3 legs, super weird. But the catch is, she can't leave her desk or touch him. It's like, what? But it shows you right away how they teach at Drayton. Unconventional, mind games, the whole deal. Dante, he's demanding, insightful, but also super mysterious. He never gives straight answers. Always pushing Lennon to think for herself, confront her own ideas. And, of course, there's this, like, undeniable attraction between them, which just makes things more complicated. Right away, Lennon is thrown into the deep end. One of her first assignments, she has to influence a rat, make it move a certain way. But she's already, like, struggling with if this is even okay, messing with something so small and helpless. You can see her confidence cracking a bit.
She's not sure if she can even handle this power without hurting things. And then things get really dark. She sees another student getting expelled, but it's brutal. It's not just getting kicked out. They wipe the student's memories, like totally erased, as if they never existed. It's a reminder of how much power Drayton really has, and how easily they can just twist the truth. This is where that title, Academy for Liars, really hits you. And then on top of that, she meets this boy. He seems to be connected to her powers somehow. Super creepy. It's like this warning, something dangerous is lurking around. But even with all that, all the moral stuff and the weird vibes, Lennon is determined to learn. She even impresses Dante, gets him to do something, although she says he deserved it, which is interesting. It's like dark humor, but it shows how much more confident she's getting, but also how Drayton is changing her, even if she doesn't realize it. Of course, this training isn't a walk in the park. Lennon gets hurt during one exercise, ends up in the infirmary. The doctor's more interested in her mental state than her actual injuries, which makes you wonder, what are the long-term effects of all this, right?
She learns about how Drayton started, and it's messed up. John Drayton, he experimented on young boys first. Thought they were easier to manipulate. Pretty disturbing. Adds to the whole ethical mess. But even with all that, Lennon is getting deeper into this world. She gets assigned to Ethos College, one of the housing divisions. It's like a whole social scene, but at this super intense school. She meets other students, like Blaine, her roommate and friend, Ian, who she's kind of into, and Nadine. Nadine used to want to be a nun, so she's really struggling with all this power stuff. You see how this promise of success, of power, affects them all differently. Some are promised money, important jobs, like they're being tempted with a perfect future. But Lennon notices something: they never promised her anything specific. It makes her question where she fits in, like they're judging her, maybe underestimating her. And that makes her want to prove herself even more. As the semester goes on, the pressure is getting to her. She can't control her thoughts and feelings. It's all too much. It gets hard to tell what's real and what's not. She's starting to lose it. The price of all this power is becoming really clear.
And through all this, she's drawn to Dante. They have this intense moment during a class, but the next day, he acts like it never happened. Like he doesn't remember. What's that about? Makes you think he's got something else going on. Maybe even more power, but darker. It's a total contrast to her relationship with Wyatt, which is falling apart. She finally dumps him, uses her persuasion powers to shut him down. It's a win, but it feels empty. She's wondering if using her powers for this kind of stuff is even okay. And then we see Dante do something strange again. He trips, seems really hurt, but then he's fine, just like that. Like his powers are way stronger and maybe darker than she thought. It's obvious, Drayton is no ordinary school. And Lennon's journey is just getting started. So, second semester at Drayton, things get even more intense. Lennon gets a new instructor, Dr. Lund. And this guy, his methods are intense, to say the least. He gives her this assignment. She has to furnish her whole dorm room, but she can only use her persuasion powers. No shopping, no magic apps, nothing. It's like he's pushing her to influence not just minds, but objects too.
Expanding her idea of what's even possible. But you start to see some cracks in Drayton's perfect image. Lennon and the other students, they start comparing notes. And guess what? They've all been told different stories about what happens after graduation. Some were promised wealth, amazing careers. But others, like Lennon, got nothing specific. It makes you wonder, right? Does Drayton actually care about their students? Or are they all just like pawns in some bigger game? Meanwhile, Lennon is still struggling. She can't figure out how to call an elevator. That's what they call it. Creating a portal to another place using persuasion. Some students do it like it's nothing, but Lennon just can't. It's frustrating, makes her doubt herself. Dante, of course, gives her this cryptic advice. See her will as an extension of her body, he says. Like, what does that even mean? Just adds to the mystery surrounding him. And then, bam, she gets invited to a party. But not just any party. This is at Logos House, the most elite, most secretive group at Drayton. The whole atmosphere is, well, off. Like, it's all about power and exclusivity. The host, Emerson, she's powerful, intimidating.
Definitely someone who runs things at Drayton. And it's at this party that Lennon meets Kieran. He's this, troubled but brilliant student, someone who becomes really important later on. But then, things take a dark turn, really dark. Lennon has this vision, this terrifying vision. A young boy with eyes full of blood right there in Logos House. It's so intense, she collapses. Even Dante seems freaked out by it. He warns her, Drayton isn't what it seems. Be careful. It's like a huge red flag. There's some seriously dangerous stuff going on at this school. And Lennon is getting caught up in it. Her and Dante, their relationship gets more complicated too. They spend more time together, but she confronts him about the party, which he doesn't remember at all. Asks why he's been acting so different. He avoids her questions, which just makes her more suspicious. The tension between them is electric. It's attraction, it's distrust, it's this feeling that they're connected on a deeper level. The pressure at Drayton keeps building. Another student gets expelled. This time it's Allison. They accuse her of breaking the rules. The whole thing is cold, brutal.
Overseen by Eileen, the vice chancellor, she's ice cold. Dante, since he's Allison's advisor, has to carry out the sentence, wipe her memories of Drayton, send her back into the world like nothing happened. Chilling, right? It shows you what they're willing to do to keep their secrets. But Lennon, even with all this happening around her, she's still determined to prove herself. She wants that power, the possibilities it offers. Even though she's wrestling with what's right and wrong, this need to belong, to be accepted by these powerful people, it's starting to, cloud her judgment. Right and wrong are getting blurry. She's on a dangerous path. And then out of nowhere, she gets accepted into Logos House. It's a huge deal, but the initiation is messed up. They make her play this game. She has to stab a table between her fingers while another student does the same. Supposed to be about focus, control. But it goes wrong, horribly wrong. Lennon accidentally stabs the other student, Ian, right through the hand. It's a huge turning point. She sees what her powers can really do, how dangerous they are, and how far she's willing to go to stay at Drayton. Life in Logos House, it's a mix of luxury and paranoia.
Lennon gets a fancy room, access to everything, but she's constantly being watched, judged. Emerson, the leader, she's manipulative, controlling, pushing Lennon to her limits. Blaine, Lennon's old roommate, warns her about Emerson. She's using you, be careful. There's this constant tension, everyone fighting for power. Lennon wants to get better, so she turns to Kieran for help. He's known for, pushing the boundaries. He gives her these psychedelic drugs, says they'll enhance her powers. Lennon, desperate to succeed, ignores everyone's warnings and takes them, and it's terrifying. She thinks the ground is breathing. She's losing her mind. It shows you what happens when you try to take shortcuts, how unpredictable this power can be. Dante finds out and he's furious. He's all about discipline, control, warns her about pushing too far. But even though he's angry, Lennon can tell he cares, which just makes things even more confusing. Their relationship is this constant back and forth. Mentor, maybe something more, but always with these secrets between them. Things with the other Logos House students get worse too. They think she's weak. They don't like how close she is to Dante. She tries to defend herself, but it just isolates her more. The dream of belonging is turned into a nightmare. She starts to wonder if all this power is even worth it. Her and Dante, their relationship gets more intense, but it's built on lies, half-truths. They have these moments, but he never talks about his past or what Drayton really is. Every time she tries to get closer, he pushes her away. The more she learns about him, the more she realizes he's carrying a lot of baggage, his own demons, the burden of his powers. And then everything changes. Lennon finds out Benedict, her old mentor, is dead. She finds him in his study. It looks like suicide. The whole scene is gruesome. Lennon is hit with grief, horror, and this growing feeling that something is wrong. Benedict's death just raises more questions. She starts to question everything about Drayton, everyone around her. This paranoia sets in, the feeling that no one can be trusted. Her suspicions about Dante grow even stronger. She overhears him talking to Claude, another Logos House student. Claude is losing it, blames Dante for manipulating Benedict for his death. Lennon is torn. She wants to believe Dante, but there's so much pointing at him, so she confronts him. He denies it, of course, but his explanations are weak, vague. Lennon is left with even more doubts. Things escalate quickly. Claude, he's grieving, drunk, tries to jump out of a window. Lennon, trying to save him, uses her powers to stop him. But it backfires horribly. Claude has a seizure, ends up catatonic, his mind broken. Lennon is horrified, and now everyone thinks she's dangerous, unstable. She needs answers, needs someone to talk to, so she goes to the chapel. For the first time, she goes to the chapel. She talks to Nadine, her old classmate, who's now studying to be a chaplain. Tells her everything, her doubts, her fears. Nadine, she's always been conflicted about their powers. She said something that really hits Lennon. Maybe what they're doing at Drayton is just evil. Her words shake Lennon to her core, makes her face the darkness inside her. She tries to reach out to her family, but it doesn't go well. Her sister, Carly, is worried about her, thinks Dante is a bad influence. Lennon gets defensive, pushes her away. She's becoming more and more isolated. From Drayton, from her old life, trapped in this web of lies and manipulation. Her and Dante, they finally reach a breaking point. She confronts him about the rumors, the violence, the manipulation. Dante can't deny it anymore, he confesses. He killed a student, August, his best friend, his roommate at Drayton. He says it was mercy that Benedict asked him to do it, because August was too powerful, too unstable. Lennon is devastated. She sees how much he's been lying, the path he's on. And then another bombshell. She learns the truth about Drayton's gates, the things that make the school possible. They're not stable. They need a gatekeeper to exist, someone who can control time and space. The current gatekeeper is William, an old man, but he's being kept alive against his will. His body and mind are falling apart. The school is literally built on his suffering, his sacrifice. And now Lennon has to make an impossible choice. William is dying. The gates are failing. Dante wants her to become the new gatekeeper, says she's the only one who can save Drayton. But Lennon is terrified. She knows what it did to William. She doesn't want to become a monster. She's torn. She wants to protect the people she cares about. But she's also afraid of what this power will do to her. The stakes couldn't be higher.
Lennon's decision will decide the fate of Drayton and her own future. Okay, so Drayton, it's like literally falling apart. The gates are like flickering. The whole school is crumbling. And Lennon, she's right in the middle of all this chaos. Dante, he's pushing her to take on this huge power, the ability to get this control time. Not just opening gates to other places, but like manipulating time itself. I mean, that's insane. No wonder she's resisting. She saw what being the gatekeeper did to William, right? She doesn't want to end up like that, sacrificing herself for a school that seems, well, pretty messed up. But then, just as she's trying to figure things out, boom, things explode. This professor, Alec, shows up at the beach house. He's with Eileen, the vice chancellor, and they want Lennon. They want to control her power. They give Dante an ultimatum. Hand her over, or else. Dante, he's still hurt from before. He can't fight. He tells Lennon to run, get out of there. But in that moment, something clicks for Lennon. She realizes running won't fix anything. She's done being everyone else's pawn. She's going to fight back, not just for herself, but for everyone she cares about.
It's like a switch flips inside her. All that fear and doubt, it's gone. Now she's determined, ready to take charge. And the final showdown, oh man, it's intense. Lennon, she's fueled by this new purpose, this need to save Drayton, to protect the people she loves. She goes up against Eileen and her crew. It's a battle of pure power, like no holds barred. Lennon uses everything she's learned, pushes her opponents to the edge, shows them how dark they really are. But winning comes with a cost. Ian, this student, someone she cared about, he gets caught in the middle of it all. It's a tragedy, a reminder that this power, it has consequences. After everything settles, Lennon, she's not the same. She takes over Drayton, becomes the chancellor, but it's a heavyweight, all that responsibility. She has people around her, Blaine, Sawyer, even Emerson. But the trust is broken, things are different. Lennon might be powerful, but she's haunted by what she's done, by the knowledge that Drayton is still fragile. And then we get this really emotional scene. Lennon, she uses her time powers to go back and visit Dante in the past. She wants answers, wants closure, maybe even a chance to change things.
Their meeting, it's bittersweet. You know? So much left unsaid, all the weight of their shared experiences. Dante, he's still carrying his scars. He tells her to focus on the present, to protect Drayton, to use her power for good. It's like a final goodbye, a reminder that even if you can control time, some wounds never heal. So what's the takeaway from all this? An Academy for Liars. It's a story about power, how seductive it is, how easily it can twist you. It's about the choices we make, the sacrifices we're willing to make for the people we love. Leonard's journey, it's a warning. Even with good intentions, power can corrupt. And the consequences of our actions, they can last a lifetime. It makes you think, right? If you had that kind of power, the ability to persuade, to change reality, how far would you go? And could you live with what you became? This deep dive into An Academy for Liars. It takes you into the dark heart of ambition, and it leaves you thinking about the true cost of power long after you finish the book.